Hello and welcome to the Irn-Cru podcast, the American football podcast made in Scotland by NFL lovers. My name's Keith McGinty, and tonight I am delighted to say that I'm joined by two of the finest crew members that I could muster on this Wednesday evening. First up, we're going to fly to Eagles-bound Philadelphia kid Kev. I'm getting lost here. We're getting off to a terrible start already. Kev, how are we, buddy?
Hi Keith, good, thanks. Thanks for having me on. As you well know, I really enjoyed the football on Sunday, so it might be a wee bit of a blur when we start to talk about it, but I'm looking forward to it.
We did well. We're out to an early start for the Dublin game, which we will cover a wee bit later on. But I think we were nothing in comparison to the man that puts the riot in Patriot. It's Danny. Danny, how you doing?
Disaster Danny struck again. I'm fantastic. Jet lagged, definitely feeling it, but still riding the adrenaline high from the weekend in Boston. I'm absolutely looking forward to knowing what shenanigans you boys got up to on Sunday. I've not heard any stories yet, so I hope they're good. I hope he's
listen. We were good boys. We were good boys. Absolutely no shenanigans. We just get comfy, watch football. No Guinness. That was the big thing for me. But anyway, you were tailgating at Gillette Stadium. What time did you get back?
I don't know. No, it was about. I think we get back about 8. Back into downtown Boston. It was a long day. We were up from about 6, just a rundown of the day. And about left downtown Boston about 6:30, down in town Norton near Foxborough Stadium. Joined the tailgating bus of Biff and the crew, the guys who I met a few years ago. Had an absolute fantastic time with them. Straight onto the shots and one of their houses and their bar. The bar, as they were saying before we go. And again, you're lucky if this is even 8:30 in the morning. Sharing tailgating, just the best time. 30-degree heat, music's playing, barbecue's going, beers are flowing. The cornhole was getting played, and I'm a dab hand at that. By the way, I found a new talent again at the age of 41. Not only did I find out when I was, I did the Pro Hall of Fame tour at Foxborough Stadium on Friday before,
nice.
And I ripped a field goal into the simulator, absolute straight and right down the middle. So
hold on.
Again,
was that your first one?
No, not at all. That was a long.
That
was my
you
first.
Absolutely
You
built the first one, didn't you?
Look, everybody's allowed a warm up, you know. I've 41-year-old hammies, mate. You know, I need to loosen them up. They need to warm up a bit. Don't want to do permanent damage. And then, just the game, just a great atmosphere. Pat's played an absolute stormer. It's the second time now. That's me 2-2. I've went to Gillette Stadium, 2-0 wins, and it's the second time I've seen Marcus Jones take a punt return to the house. So, I must be his lucky charm. So, no, it's just a utterly phenomenal weekend. I can't speak highly enough about it. You know, it definitely is my spiritual home out there in Boston, and with my sort of folk. And again, the big theme for me the weekend is other than the football. That's great, but the people. You know. Over here, you hear a lot about the massholes and all that sort of thing. Absolutely not. They're the best people in the world. So generous, so lovely, really funny, and they just absolutely welcomed us, took us right in our hearts, and we had the absolute best time with a whole big crowd of them. Honestly, the best experience ever, and I will be back again soon, I'm sure.
Magic. Absolutely magic, buddy. I'm delighted for you. Do you know that he's did that well? That we've been talking for a wee while how the Pats are starting to become a wee bit irrelevant. They're not that good. They're not scoring many points. Red Zone stopped showing your scores. They stopped showing the scores, stopped showing your highlights because you were just racking up the points. 42-13 against the Carolina Panthers. Panthers had started to come into a wee bit of form. People were thinking that there was a chance that they could maybe... I thought that was actually going to be a Panthers win. Little did I know that the Patriots had their lucky charm in you. What did you take in from the actual game itself?
It was The Patriots have been a bit sluggish to start the season, and like a lot of teams have been, to be honest. We've been sloppy, too many penalties, 5 turnovers last week, 6 if you include the turnover and downs to end the game. They've looked good at times. We've seen Drake May play really, really well, but at the same time, just end up messing up in certain areas, whether it's in defence, whether we're getting up these massive chunk plays over the top, whether we're, as I said, fumbling the ball in the goal line. But there was always kind of signs there that actually this team could do something good if it all sort of clicked. And we just seen that the penalties weren't an issue this week. We're getting after the quarterback. We'll get Gonzo back. My man, absolutely love Christian Gonzalez, cornerback, just absolute lockdown. Ted McMillan. Just Stefan Diggs going, what was it, 6 for 101 or something like that, and an absolute great game. So again, we're starting to see, and probably we'll touch on a wee bit kind of going on here, we're kind of this week 4, we're starting to see teams who they really are and who they're actually coming at. That's sort of first 3 pre-season sort of games are going, and that's what I was seeing for the Patriots. Running the ball, good ball security, getting the play action going, only having to rely on 17 pass attempts or whatever it is for Drake May. Thrown to, was it 5? I think it was, didn't throw, but there was 5-6 different touchdown scorers this week. We're doing it in defence. We're holding, other than garbage time touchdown, we held them to 6 points for the majority of the game. So defence is locking down, offence is moving the ball well, running it. So again, it's just complementary football through all 3 phases, and the beer is at an absolute fortune in Gillette Stadium. So I had a great time. I've lost you, so I'll just keep talking. I think I should just keep
you're
going,
fine, you're fine.
Damn.
I was going to start talking. I was going to say Patriots and good ball security isn't something I thought I'd hear on the podcast tonight, Danny. Well done for getting that in there.
Right, well, look, after last week, something had to change, and it had to change fast. And again, I wasn't sure of how this game was going to go. It was just one of these ones, like, what Patriots are going to show up, what Panthers are going to show up. But, I think we just showed our kind of dominance there and showed what happens when you get a proper head coach and a proper offensive coordinator in there. Just get real kind of, and Drake May just continuing to grow. It's still a long season to go, but again, lots and lots of promising signs for this young team.
Yeah, you're lucky that AD Mitchell was playing at the weekend there when it comes to ball security. Yes, terrific. We thought that this season was going to be a wee bit more defensively minded for the Patriots, getting Vrabel in there. I thought he was just going to secure things up, but it's good to see that May, was this his third year? This is him actually getting a chance to really, really rip and shows what he can do. Yeah, but a terrific win for the Patriots. Kev, you and I, we went out with a couple of the other Gridiron crew members, went out with Scud, and we went out with Vikings fan Craig to watch the first ever Dublin game. And went into Glasgow to watch it, went to Walkabout. It was a great wee afternoon. No Guinness though. I was really disappointed there was no Guinness on tap. I was looking forward to a wee pint of the Irish stout.
I thought when you said there was no Guinness, so that was like you showing like some form of, I was going to say celibacy. That's not the right word, is it? You know what I mean? Like you're just actually not Sunday. I've got to stay off it. Or they just didn't have it.
No, they none, which was a shame. But apart from that, service was lovely. The staff were great with us there, and we had a cracking view for watching all the highlights for the games as well. It was a really good crowd. There was quite a lot of people in. Obviously, there was folk in there for the FITBA, the Arsenal and Newcastle game was on, and the Rangers game was on. So but there was plenty of NFL fans in, which was great to see. So yeah, we had a great wee day. What did you make of the first ever Dublin game then, Kev?
Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was this is where it starts to hit home how much I had. It turned into a really long day, but I think having Martin there at the game, knowing somebody who was at it and kind of being in touch with him in the group chat, made it a wee bit more interesting for me as well, because obviously I had no dog in the fight when it came to the actual game. I can't really say much more than that, to be honest.
Hold on.
It was
Sorry, I saw about 5 minutes in an RV in the back of a car park in downtown Foxborough, and it sounds like I saw more of the game than you. How pissed were you?
Well, do you know, we met, like you said, a lot of NFL fans in for the football, and I think I spent more time talking to a group of guys from Florida who moved down there from Minnesota than I actually did watching the game. But that's not true. I just had far too much to drink and can't really remember much.
Yes, love it.
See,
so Kev's getting through this week.
Absolutely. I bailed early. I get out in time to get home and see the mostly red zone. So I was savvy with that one. But he was out drinking with his big brother. That's a dangerous tag team, that one there. Yeah. As Kev said there, one of our friends, Martin McGinley, was over. He's a long-suffering Steelers fan, and he made the trip over to Dublin for the game. What a weekend that guy's had. He seems to have had a fantastic time. We managed to put some of his videos that he was sending us over up onto the Cru socials. Big fan of the Scolger song that was getting played. That was quite good. He says he had a great time. The Steelers fans were absolutely brilliant. Even the Vikings fans, and we know that ourselves from our trip down to London last year. Vikings fans, wherever they go, they're just up for a party, and it's such a good atmosphere. So, absolutely delighted for him. He had the worst seats at the start of the game. He was right down trackside, which is absolutely horrendous for a view. So he managed to get his way halfway up the stand within the first quarter to actually get a good view of everything that was going on. And what a game for the Steelers fans in Ireland. Got to say, we've been looking on enviously at the Irish NFL podcasters and fan media that's been really leading the way over there. Danny, you and I, we've spoke about this in the past. I know you've been over and you've made some friends over there. We have been envious of the coverage that they've managed to set up and the contacts that they've made. We're trying our best to make inroads so that something similar can happen in Scotland, and would love for anybody that's listening if they can help out. Give us pointers on who we get in touch with, who we have to chap up to get an American football game over in Scotland. I know we're going to be working with the other. Yeah, we're going to be working with the other podcasts and fan media here in Scotland to help make this a thing. I'm saying it all the time in my house. My boy's getting fed up with this now. This is going to happen. We are going to get an American football game in Scotland, and hopefully we'll be part of helping bring that to them. That's the role of the crew. That's what we want to do, is to get people involved in the game to really highlight just what a spectacle American football is and how it helps bring everybody together. So yeah, that's it. We're hoping to do. But what a treat for the Irish NFL guys that are over there. What do you make of it? And I know you're in touch with some of them, Danny. How did they experience their weekend? How was it for them?
From what I can see, I've not had the chance to speak to them properly yet, but they loved it. That's them in their element. Just complete dug with two dicks over there. And again, it's well deserved. You know, they've put in a lot of work and effort there. I think everybody could see what attraction Ireland does have internationally, you know, but Scotland has that exact same appeal. You know, everywhere I went, and I was getting, hey guys, I'm Scottish and well, or hey, I'm Irish, and you know, and there is that massive attraction throughout the whole of the US. So yeah, no, it sounds like they put on an incredible show. The scenes from Temple Bar looked absolutely amazing. Yeah, they know how to kind of put on a party over there, and they've definitely, I think, made the NFL and the rest of the US sit up and take notice of just how popular it is growing over in Ireland and the sort of the rest of the world as well. But like you're saying there, Keith, there's absolutely no reason why we can't attract the same here in Scotland. We can put on just a good show. We have the facilities here to do it. We can put in the proper infrastructure and make sure it goes off just every bit, you know, close down Princess Street or whatever it is, doing Murrayfield. They've been an absolute legendary experience. We you know, we just need to keep going, trying and showing. And my hope is that, judging by some of the emails that I'm getting this weekend, I'm not entirely sure London is selling it this year. And after the trick they pulled with cancelling season tickets and the price hikes and all that stuff, maybe move on the road. Maybe put one in Newcastle, Manchester, Glasgow, Edinburgh, whatever it might be. Take them away from London, maybe move them about the country as well. So maybe that's an inroad.
I think Edinburgh has to be the first one, just with the pageantry that Edinburgh has, the beautiful backdrop. Of course, we're biased with Glasgow being here and the football stadiums that we've got here, the people that we've got here, and the party atmosphere that we can do. But Edinburgh's that more picturesque. You can see that being an easier sell to the Americans to come on over. Kev, what do you think? What do we have to do to get an American football game here in Scotland?
I wouldn't know where to start, Keith. I'm hoping that you're going to be the guy to pull it off. But listen, it would obviously be amazing. There's so many people in Scotland watch the game, love the game, travel to get to matches, whether it be over to the States or the London games every year. So it would be amazing if we could bring a game here and have everybody come here and enjoy our hospitality for a change.
One thing they do need to do is get a wee bit better, and I never thought I'd say this about the NFL, a wee bit better about selling themselves and letting people know when they're in the Scottish capital, because myself and my family went through to Edinburgh for the NFL experience, which travels into different cities, and it's heading over to Germany next for the German games. But they have 3 containers. The first one had all 32 teams' helmets, a couple of match-worn tops as well. You had who was it again? It was Tours and Caleb Williams as well, plus a couple of helmets for you to pose with and get a wee shot on. Hopefully everybody's seen the videos that we posted. We do that just so that everybody gets a wee chance to taste what we've actually seen and what they can go down and experience themselves. I hate doing voiceovers. See all those TikTok, hi guys, come and join us. I absolutely hate that. So, but that was just so everybody could get a wee idea of what was going on. So first container had all the helmets, looked amazing, fantastic. Second one had the Vince Lombardi trophy itself, and according to people there, it was the genuine Vince Lombardi, but I believe there's an umpteen of them in existence now. But it looked brilliant. It was behind perplex glass. You couldn't get close to it, but you could get your picture taken beside it. So myself and the boys went in. We had a great time, got some cracking photos there. And then the final one was a wee Madden fan cave, and it was absolutely brilliant. I was in there for the total of about 5 minutes, and the wee man ran up a score on me already playing that. So I need to get practicing during October week. Hopefully, game a proper game whenever we play them next. But yeah, they need to get a wee bit better at letting everybody know. I was speaking to a couple of the guys there, and they just, I think the most they've done was get in touch with the Edinburgh Napier Knights, and who didn't get back to them. Maybe they didn't give them enough notice. But I think that's more on the NFL guys than it is on anybody up here in Scotland, because there's certainly more than enough American football fans that would have been delighted to get down and see that and get their picture taken with Vince.
Do you know who we needed to actually promote the game? There's only one man in Scotland to actually do it. Our good friend Hendo, the Kilted Texan. Since he's an international superstar now, he's in all these ads which are spreading, as we were saying, sent on the clip to him. He appeared in the Heed the Call podcast with Conor Orr, bringing him up on the from Sports Illustrated, and again, it's something that just takes a figure like that just show actually there is real passion over this side. So again, why is it maybe I know he's got a lot in his hands these days, but sometimes that's all it takes, isn't it? Just one fan, just one absolute fanatic to help spread the game. So yeah, it doesn't take much.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, let's have a wee blast through some of the other games that we had on. Does anyone jump out at you, Kev? We'll start off with your jammy 4-0 Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, and then there were 2. So only 2 teams left, undefeated, our good selves and the Bills. So that was a game I was quite apprehensive about, to be honest. I feel like the Bucks are a bit of a bogey team for us. going well. Baker's playing great. Egabuka's looked like an absolute superstar in his first season. So yeah, after the Manor win last week, I thought this is going to be really tough. But yeah, we done well.
We were talking before the pod started just how he's are sneaking by. He's aren't even hitting top gear, and we kind of saw that again last year with the Kansas City Chiefs. Is this something that you're worried about? You could maybe fall into the same trap as them, maybe going like I think it was at 14-0, 15.
Yeah.
No, and
no,
then
I think this is a thing I've kind of talked about with the Eagles for the past 4 years. I feel like that's kind of the Eagles' way right now. It's under Sirianni, even though we've had changed coordinators quite a lot over the last few years, we always seem to kind of just do enough. We never really seem to blow teams away. The season we got to the Super Bowl and lost, it was like that. The following season, it carried on that way, and then obviously we came a bit unstuck towards the end of that season. But then last year, we got back on track. We won the whole thing, and this year we're just carrying that on. And I think what we're doing now is we're building a culture. We're making winning a habit, and like I said last week, you saw that we were struggling to run the ball, and then we just we found a way to win. We started moving it in the air, which a lot of people are accusing us of not being able to do. And like I said, after that tough win last week, I think it was good to just follow that up with another win. And yeah, we're off to the races. I think we'll be back in the big dance this year again.
Danny, what about the?
That's confidence, especially when you trade us AJ Brown. Don't know how that's going to get in. Disgruntled superstars. That's not a great sign for us. Back a two-time champ or whatever you call back to back. We'll see, Kev. We'll see.
I'm looking for pointers for you, Danny, on following a dynasty.
Just been Eagles fan.
Right, what about the Buccaneers? Baker doing his thing again, leading the charge. They almost had you, Kev. Danny, what did you make it that comeback fight from the Bucs? Was it wasteful from them in the end, or should they have actually got a bit something out of the game?
Nah, I don't know if it's wasteful, but it's weird. This team they're not perfect. These games are going to happen, especially when up against such a quality team like the Eagles. But it's week 4. It's early in the season. I think Bucs fans can be very happy with where they're sitting, how their team are playing, what they're seeing for the young stars as well. I'll murder his name if I try. You know what it's like. What's his name? No. The wide receiver lad. Aye. I just can't even say half the folks' names these days. I'm just giving up. Doesn't help I'm jet lagged to hell. But no, they can be really happy, I think, where they're at and what they're doing and how they're playing. And I think they're going to be there come January, and maybe they'll probably see a rematch of this game. And if Philly don't tighten up in certain areas, then you never know, they could get knocked off quite easily. I wouldn't be surprised.
What about let's see some of the other games that we had the weekend there? Big one stood out from Monday Night Football. Was that first tie of the season? And not just that, a tie, big scoring as well. I hope most people went for the over in this one. 40 all. It's like the tennis there, isn't it? Between the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys. Wow. Is a tie something that we should be in American sports and the NFL? Is there something that they should do to do away with it? Should be like penalties where they get like linebackers come out to try and kick a field goal or something like that? How's the best way to get around getting a tie? Because it just doesn't feel right, doesn't it? No?
After Liam Cohen and Robert Saleh getting into it, just a good fight between coaches, just a rumble, just set up a boxing match in the middle, let them go toe to toe. or down in pipes. I don't know, something different. Like, there's too many just in rock, paper, scissors. I'm to be honest, I'm happy with a tie. It is what it is. If there's nothing separating them after 14 hours of bloody play or however long that game felt like it was, because I started watching it. I ended up downtown in Boston, trying to squeeze in another Jack Daniels and Coke while looking through one eye, staring at a screen, and then deciding actually it's probably time to go to bed. And yeah, it was, I guess 40-40, there's just nothing separating them. I'm happy enough with a tie, why not? Half a game in it.
Micah Parsons returning to play the Cowboys. Is that a weird one? Do you think that they are going to regret moving on from him maybe a wee bit too soon, Kev?
I don't know. I mean, what I would say is, if you're Micah Parsons and you're going up against the Cowboys, you don't want a 40-all shootout. That's not going to make them miss you, really, is it? I think what I'm more interested in is what it says about the two teams, because I actually feel as though the Cowboys are actually better than I thought they would be this year so far. I thought that the Packers were a bit hit and miss, but they've looked good in some games, not so good in others, and I'm not sure what that game says about the two of them. What do you think, Danny?
I think I'm pretty stunned by what you actually said about the Cowboys coming from an Eagles fan, to be honest. I'm a statistician. I love my spreadsheets and I'll pull together. I'm just looking at my stats and how I've got the defensive and offensive ranked. So overall, I have got Dallas ranked in total yards first in offense. And guess what? They're ranked in defense. Take a wild guess. 32. Shows you how much a basket case of a team they are. They're boom and bubble, but MD can score on them. MD, it's like Bonnie and Blue's bloody bus just racking up. MD can join in, right, and you can fire into it. That is what their secondaries like. They're getting absolutely tanked over the top. After what's the cornerback who did all the pick sixes last year? Bland?
Yeah.
Bland. Yeah.
Yeah,
they're on. He's Bland. Just on down and plays, and you're not going to get anywhere if you just can't get your defence off the field. So yeah, and Dak's going to end up injured at some point, and whatever's happened to CD Lamb, I think was he injured again at the weekend. I missed a lot of the injuries, so they done well to hang about in this 140-40, but that's not a recipe for success. Now when you've got a turnover differential of -4 as well, and you're keeping the ball away, so. Yeah, be crueler to you Cowboys fans. Come on, Kev. I've been in an Eagles pub with you, hearing you lead a chant of Cowboys. So I'm trying to be nice to them now we're recording, right? I know you really think of them.
Aye. Do you know what it is? I've got Dak in fantasy this year, and I'm pinning a lot of hopes on him. So I think it's I'm kind of struggling with that, to be honest.
He'll be doing well, especially when he's got Josh Pickens to throw to. Incredible catch for Pickens. I think he double coverage on that one. He still came down with the ball. It was pretty incredible. Breakout game for him. 134 yards, 8 receptions, 2 touchdowns for Pickens. I think they thought he was going to maybe take second fiddle to CD Lamb, but already he scored more touchdowns this season than he has all of last season. So yeah, definitely get on the Cowboys for your fantasy if you can. I suppose it's the same for the Packers. The defense is surprising that they thought we'd be getting a wee bit more, but this is what you want to see. You want to see big plays. You want to see touchdowns. So long may it continue. It'll keep it entertaining. Anyway. Okay, where will we go next? Just a wee quick rundown. We'll go chronologically then. So I stayed up and watched the first half of the Seahawks-Cardinals game. Seahawks, who I think are 8-1 on the road just now, which is wild. It's usually our home form that we're usually relying on, but we just seem to know how to eke out results and how to get the win there. Made it a wee bit worrying because Jason Myers missed a field goal before he sealed the game for us with a 52-yarder to win the game. But it's a weird game. The Cardinals put up a good fight. They did a couple of really, really bad misses in the first quarter, especially, and the Seahawks just kept grinding away and making plays. I'm really, really excited for what this team can become. I still think it's going to be a wee bit early, maybe this season, but seeing Jackson Smith and Jigba and Sam Darnold having a great connection like they do, I'm so glad we moved on to Gino. And I was thinking that last year when he was getting so many deep balls and really, really big explosive plays, but it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel as if we were in controlling games. And I wonder if this is just a McDonald's effect coming through where we're getting stronger on defence and we're now able to rely a wee bit on some of the future stars like Kenneth Walker. Hopefully he can stay fit. And GSN going to rock you, telling you guys. Anything you want to add for the Seahawks game, or will we move on?
Well, actually, just hearing you talking about the Seahawks and thinking about the changes you made to your team this year, I got a flashback to that Dublin game. Metcalf with the longest touchdown in an international game.
Yep.
But talking about your guys, I'm really impressed with how you are going this season, considering the change at quarterback, losing Metcalf. It doesn't seem to have hurt you at all.
Yeah, I just realised that a couple of minutes ago we didn't talk about DK's touchdown. We also never talked about how Jamie Rogers is when he was making that scramble. Get the ball punched out, but it bounced up into the hands of a Steeler, and they managed to retain it. I think that was probably my highlight of the game.
Tell me Jamie Rogers was deliberate, please. I love a Jamie Dodger, by the way. They're an underrated biscuit, man. We should do a whole podcast on biscuits, but that was a great play in words, and it was completely meant one to the beef.
Totally. We're cutting that one. That one's getting posted. All good there at the Seahawks. The Cardinals, they are going to be without James Conner. But also Benson is out now. He's been moved on to IR, and Demarcado is the man to go for your fantasy. I've managed to pick him up as well. So yeah, they need to get a better connection with Marvin Harrison Jr. He needs to just start catching easy balls, because there was a couple of drops, and I know he had them last week as well, where I think you should be expecting a wee bit more for this guy, especially the pedigree he's got. He's going into his second year. I think they should be relying on him a wee bit more. But once he catches fire, that guy's going to be something special. Okay, next game then. Commanders Falcons. Falcons bouncing back big time against the Commanders, 34-27. After the donut in week 3. Did you see this big result coming? Bijan getting the touchdown, 75 yards, Danny. Commanders, they're 2-2 for the season, same as the Falcons now. It's a bit of disappointment for the Commanders, or just a big performance for the Falcons?
I didn't catch too much this game, but I wasn't surprised to see it, because I was actually talking to quite a few guys at the weekend, and I was basically saying how much a basket case I find the Falcons team, but you just don't know one's going to show up. They've got the talent there. They do have Drake London. They've got Penix still here. He's out, still young. We'll see. But when you've got Bijan there, and you've got London and Kyle Pitts is doing well, and you're like, well, and they've got the pieces here. They're 2-round. They're 2 first-round draft picks of this year. The 2 defensive ends that they picked up again, started to play well. Looked what's going on.
Yeah.
And then obviously, so they've got pieces there, but I'm just not entirely sure I buy into them as a team. I don't know if I can trust them. But am I right in thinking, again, I don't know if I've picked up right, was Daniels out in this game?
Yes, it was Mariota.
So I'm not going to put too much stock in a game where your starting quarterback's Marcus Mariota. He's a quarterback I don't need to see any more of. I've seen enough of him. Just put him back in the bench where he belongs, and hopefully Daniels is back next week. And again, it's just one of these games that you can happily just write off if you're a Washington fan. Just be encouraged what's happening going forward and just move on.
Next up then, let's see, we had the Saints and Bills 31-19. It was a much closer game than the scoreline suggests then, Kev. Did you catch much of that one, or was that a wee bit too far gone there?
No, I do you know what? I don't even know if that was on while I was watching the Eagles game or whether that was a late night game. I don't remember anything after leaving the pub to come home from watching the Eagles Bucks. I've had a look. I've had a look at the scores. Not managed to catch a lot of highlights. But yeah, I suppose I should probably watch that. Can get a look at our Super Bowl opponents.
Oh, yeah.
One thing I can tell you is I remember an absolutely incredible bursting run forward by Josh Allen, where he ran through two of the Saints linebackers, and how he get so many yards was ridiculous. He really should be giving himself up there, but they call him Superman for a reason. He just bounced through these guys, and it was terrific, just leading the way as he seemed to be doing this year. As you said, Kev, 4-0, the only other undefeated team in the league, and I'll be honest, I'm not sure about that. I think it would be your search for the next week anyway. Okay, Browns Lions 34-10 to the Lions. Amon-Ra just absolutely running right. Flacco has been benched by the Browns now. Is it Gabriel that's coming in? He's going to be the starter for the London game, which Shedeur Sanders has been catching a bit more heat again this week. People are talking about him. The rumours are circulating that he's just not doing enough. He's not trying hard enough. He's not getting in studying. He's not doing he's not being humble, is how I think they're putting that across. He's a rookie quarterback. He should be getting in and learning his trade, where it seems to be everybody's talking as if he acts as if he's the ticket. He knows that he's doing already. This boy's going to make a lot of mistakes in the next couple of years if he gets game time. He needs to start knuckling down, learning from the mistakes, and actually getting the basics done first of all. But it doesn't sound good for him. It sounds as if he's more an Instagram quarterback than he is a real life NFL quarterback. So Gabriel starting for the Browns in the London game. We'll get to the week 5 games shortly. Panthers, Pats we covered. Giants, Chargers. Jackson Dart managed to lead the Giants, I guess, the Chargers. Is that a shock for you, Kev?
Yeah, it's a big surprise. I suppose they obviously got the reaction they wanted, putting the young quarterback in. It's a real shame for the Giants that they pull off that win and then lose Malik Neighbours for the season. So it's almost like they just kind of get a break. But yeah, it was definitely a surprise to see the score there.
They get a break every single year, and so do the Jets. They've still got to continue to play in MetLife Stadium turf. How many casualties did it take? It just takes souls and bodies every single season. Just so I feel sorry for the player. I don't feel any kind of sympathy or sorrow towards these organisations. It's within their power to do something about it. You've got like OBJ and stuff on social media telling them, get this changed, health and safety, that stuff needs to get rid of. They do nothing about it year on year because they want to keep on hurling it out for concerts and everything else, and it's hurting the franchises, hurting the players. It's on their heads, be it. But that was an upset.
Yeah, I think one of the most telling things was they had better turf on the pitch for the football during the summer with the Club World Cup than they did for the American football for the regular season, which is just shows you priorities, doesn't it?
Texans. World Cup finals there, I know.
That's right. So it is. So it
Is
is.
it? I was definitely a game anyway there.
You've got Texans demolished the Titans. Titans is just that's there's nothing to do there. They're just there's going to be nothing this season. If they get a win, you'll be surprised where it comes from. 0-4 for the Titans. Texans with their first win of the season, which was surprising to me. Nico Collins is back. Yeah, 79 yards from 4 receptions. It was great to see him back doing his thing.
That's
Rams
this
and
defensive line.
aye, absolutely. How they're going to protect Campbell, I don't understand. But well, be irrelevant for another season at least. Rams beat the Indianapolis Colts. First defeat for Indiana Jones of the season, 27-20. Tutu Atwell with a late 88-yard touchdown. That was a little bit special. Puka Nacua getting 170 yards. That guy's... I think we still underrate him. Aye, I think we underrate him. I think playing in McVay's offense is good for him and Matt Stafford. I don't know how good he would be in other offenses, but what he's doing there, he's pretty special. So, aye, a terrific player. Jaguars and the 49ers. It's a wee shame. The Jags beat the 49ers. the Jags defense held off the 49ers with some key fourth quarter stops, and the Jags are 3-1. That's I think this is the season that we were hoping to see a bit more from Trevor Lawrence, but it seems to be a full team effort there, especially their defense seems to be doing quite well too.
I'm not going to take them seriously though. Just can't take them seriously. They don't. Okay, they're going up against an absolute battered and banged up 49ers team who you don't know what they're playing. I see Purdy's now for next week. Pearsall's out. Jennings is out. Already lost Kittle. They've lost half the defence. That's a nothing. It's probably just similar. It's going to be a similar response to a game that we're probably just about to start talking about as well. But when a team, you're up against a team with so many injuries, yeah, okay, you've got the win, move on. But I'm not going to expect to see you come a late run in the playoffs anyway.
No. Next up, we had the Ravens and the Chiefs. Ravens, wheels starting to come off a wee bit. 1-3 for the Ravens. Many people's tips for the Super Bowl at the start of the season, but it seems to be coming off. Injuries are hampering them big time. Lamar is, I don't know, is he ruled out for next week?
It's a hamstring injury. I think he's doubtful.
Yeah, he came out the game as Harbaugh says if he could make it back in, he certainly would have, but just wasn't able to get back in and help his team overcome a Chiefs who started to really rumble on Sunday. They got Xavier Worthy back, and he was making big plays with Pat Mahomes. So, that's the Chiefs starting to show their caliber. They're 2-2 for the season. Is this something that the Ravens should be worried about? They're 1-3, or is it just a wee minor blip? Injuries just causing that wee bit of havoc for them just now, Kev?
I think they should definitely be worried, especially if they're going to be missing Lamar for any length of time. And then when you add to that, I mean, how many years have people been saying, this is one too many for Derrick Henry? Maybe this is one too many for Derrick Henry. So yeah, if I was a Ravens fan, I'd be very concerned at the moment.
Justice Hill with a 70-odd yard touchdown as well, which is kind of flatters the score to make it take it up to the 20 there. But wasn't he the best of games for the Ravens? Hopefully they get it together again, because I believe Irn-Cru is helping host another Ravens watch party in Glasgow. I think it might be for week 8. Mike will keep us right. He'll let us know, and of course we'll be sharing it across our socials. But I went down to the the one against the Browns in week 2, which was a great night out in the Raven. So there was teams, fans of other teams there as well. So they're welcome, but it's definitely a Ravens party, and make sure that you're supporting the home team for that one as well if you are going to make it down for that game. Anything you want to add to that one, Danny?
I just again, I don't put too much stock in that for either team. I think it's good to see Mahomes and Murray kind of get back, showing a bit of sort of connection. But again, when you're up against the Ravens' second and third stringers, okay, fine. But I'd be absolutely terrified if I was a Ravens fan. Talk about windows, talking about having that team. I was one of the people who were banging the drum beforehand. We're going to go for the Super Bowl. But when you look at some of the injuries they've got, like it's Ronnie Stanley, Van Noy, Washington, Madabuki, Richard Lakely, Lamar's going to be Roquan Smith, I think. Seen quite a few others. Like half the team, they're just a mess. And if it was flipped, if they're 3-1, I'd be like, right, okay, they can survive this run. They'll get healthier in a few weeks. But when you're 1-3, that can very quickly become 1-5, and then you're out the window altogether.
Who's their backup quarterback? I forgot to check that.
Oh, who was it? Stand by call.
That's fine. We'll get that. I think we are hopeful that that our tips at the start of the season will certainly come through. But I think we're all maybe going to have to shift to the Bills bus for the Super Bowl. Or Kev, if he keeps banging on with these Eagles, he might be able to convince us again. Okay, other games we had, we're nearly done for week 4 games.
Cooper Rush. There we go. Yeah.
Cooper Rush is the backup quarterback. There you go. Interesting. Bears in a very, very tight, hard-fought match against the Las Vegas Raiders come away with a 25-24 win, thanks to a blocked field goal attempt right at the very end there. Caleb Williams said after the game that playing against who's the defensive for the Raiders? Max Crosby. Caleb Williams said, I butchered that big time. That was going to sound good there. Caleb Williams said that playing against Max Crosby was the best player that he's ever played against, and Max Crosby was everywhere. I think he had a couple of interceptions in this game. Must take the ball back a wee bit. Didn't quite get in for the touchdown, but he was influencing that game like nothing on earth. He was just getting pressure, or making Caleb get out of the pocket and get uncomfortable. But I think this might be the making of Caleb Williams. I know we're all waiting on it, but he stood up to it and helped his team get that win. It was a very, very hard fought victory for them. Ashton Ginty was terrific for the Raiders. They've got a real star there. I think that's something that they can build their team around, because it's certainly not going to be Geno Smith, who threw quite a few interceptions again. Big one for the Bears. Hopefully they can march on from that. I've seen the news. Did you see the news that they've got their planning permission accepted for their new stadium? It's not going to be at the lakeside anymore. It's going to be in the city a wee bit more, but it looks pretty similar to the original drawings that they had. Looks nice. Looks nice. That's
nice.
Just like every other.
It's not some
it's no
passive aggressive.
It's very similar.
That's nice.
It's very similar to all the other ones that are gone about now. The Jags new stadium and that, having a big open bit for everybody to be able to see in. Listen, you go there, it's going to be spectacular. But they're all looking at pretty much the same. Monday Night Football, we had the Jets getting beat by the Dolphins and the Bengals getting trounced by the Broncos. Jets-Dolphins, I think the main thing to take away from that is Tyreek Hill's horrible injury. And yeah, that's all we really have to say about that for Tyreek Hill. I don't think we need to add much more to that.
Jets, you know, that's it.
Jets that as well. A big win for the Dolphins. They were needing that. A wee stay of execution maybe for Mike McDaniel, but we'll see there. Bengals, their season just wittering away. They've not really got anything going for them just now, have they? It's going to be a long season for our French stew and the Bengals there, and Broncos starting to rumble a wee bit. Bo Nix.
Oh, sorry, mate. I was just saying.
No, go for it.
Bengals. They are only 1 win behind the Steelers in first, and given what's happened to the Ravens and their injuries, there's a long season still to go. It's not going well for them, and God knows what happens with having Jake Brown in as your quarterback. But you know, they're not completely out the picture yet. Trust me, this is me clutching at straws big time here. Just trying to give some thread of hope. But I just think when you're in a division with a mediocre Steelers team, Bengals, the Bengals, a Ravens team who are completely and utterly beaten up, and that, and the Browns, who are the Browns, anything could happen. You just never know. So, but yeah, I don't put too much faith in Zach Taylor as the head coach. But yeah, I'm just keen to, as I say, it's just a slight glimmer, just leaving the door just open, a crack, just a small jar for them.
The Bengals, for everything that we've heard about the Bengals, their front office don't seem to be ones that would panic and maybe even go out and make a trade for a mediocre quarterback, take him in and try and steady a tide. Browning seems to be the guy that they're comfortable with. They know he knows everybody in the building. He's been there for a couple of years now. He knows all how they operate and how they run. It's just not happening for him yet.
Just don't know why you give up draft picks just to get somebody else killed. You know, it's when you've got such a bad offensive line. That's what's going to happen. And fair play to all the people who took Jamar Chase first in their fantasy leagues, because I bet they're now bloody crying their little hearts out while some of us are winning. You know, we're 4-0 on our leagues.
Right, that was the rest of week 4. Let's have a wee look ahead then to week 5. Let's see, any games stand out to you? First up, we've got for Thursday night football, you've got the 49ers travelling to SoFi to take on the LA Rams. Rams are just cooking just now. 49ers, Danny, as you mentioned already, we're hearing that they are absolutely riddled with injuries for this week. Ricky Pearsall is definitely going to be out. Brock Purdy's definitely out, and Joanne Jennings is out as well. Let's get on the Rams there for that one. Maybe be taking the over for that one for the Rams to run up a big score on them.
You have no faith in Mac Jones, is that what you're saying?
You've told me not to.
Your eyes tell you not to either. We've seen how Mac plays. But I think this one's fascinating. So obviously it's that rivalry between Sean McVay and Kel Shanahan as well. And they'll never want to concede and just give it up, you know. Yeah. So a lot of people will be saying, right, okay, given the injuries, we'll just write this one off. It's a short week as well. But, you know, when it's in division, you've got that rivalry with the head coaches, you know, never know. Stranger things.
Absolutely. Sunday slate, we've got the Minnesota Vikings at the Cleveland Browns. Well, that's the international game. That's the first London game of the season at Spurs Stadium. Seems to be quite a big contingent of Vikings fans over already. We saw quite a few of them in Glasgow at the weekend. I saw a couple of Vikings shirts through in Edinburgh on the Saturday as well. I think they're making a big trip of it. They're coming over to Scotland, going to Ireland as well for the games, and then they're going to head down to London and then really take over there. Is this a game that O'Connell can just rally the troops? There was a comment that he made before the Steelers game where he says everybody's enjoying themselves, everybody's feeling good. It's like a summer camp, is how he described it. That sounded a wee bit too comfortable. I think the Vikings need to get a wee bit uncomfortable. They need to get a wee bit angry. They need to get a wee bit more aggressive in their plays, because that performance on Sunday there was not good enough. And Kev, you'll testify, poor Craig was in bits watching that game. He was beside himself. One thing that stood out was they were not getting the ball to Justin Jefferson anywhere near enough, and when they did, he was taking it in. He was using it well.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the ideal game to bounce back at, though, isn't it? Like you say, there'll be a lot of Vikings fans down in London, and the Browns are just hopeless at the minute. I mean, the defence is pretty good, but yeah, I think that's a game you would fancy after that sore one last weekend.
Let's see, other games we've got then. We have the Vegas travelling to Indiana to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Giants are travelling to take on the Saints. Cowboys are going to New York to take the Jets. That'll be an interesting one. Two pretty bad teams. Cowboys could run up a big score, but that could be the comeback game that the Jets are needing as well.
I was wondering, what do you think, Danny? How many points are the Jets going to put up on the Cowboys?
I could see it being a bit of a slap fest. I'd be taking over in this game just because I don't rate either of the defences. Yeah. But actually, if I had to pick, I would take the Jets to win this one, to be honest. I don't rate the Jets at all. I just have no faith in the Cowboys. I don't trust them.
Justin Fields, just I don't know what Aaron Glenn has to do to get the best out of him, but it's not quite there yet. But still a long way to go in the season. What about you, Kev? Coming to you for the Broncos, travelling to Philadelphia to take on your Eagles. 6 o'clock game on Sunday. That'll be a good test for both teams.
Another tough game. They don't get any easier, do they? But yeah, I think being at home, hopefully we'll just do what the Eagles do, and that's just enough.
Speaking of Slapfest, we've got the Dolphins travelling to take on the Carolina Panthers. Houston Texans getting their first win of the season. Hopefully Graham will be celebrating again at the weekend, or will it be our Mikey with they're taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Injury-plagued Baltimore Ravens. What do you think for that one? Maybe the Texans starting to ascend a wee bit. CJ Stroud's not quite delivering as we thought it would be after his impressive first season. So, I think we'll go just with the injuries there. I think it might be a wee sneaky Texans win.
I would go Texans and take Thunder. I'm not. I don't rate either of these teams, but I think the Texans have a bit more to them, and I don't really see a pass rush getting to CJ Stroud this week. So I think he's got a wee bit more time with the ball with Nico Collins to put up a couple of scores.
Tennessee Titans are travelling to the desert to take on the Arizona Cardinals. That's a Cardinals win, surely, Kev.
Yeah, you would think so, but then again, the Cardinals, I'm a bit like Danny on them. I don't trust them. I think, especially after losing Connor, and they're just so inconsistent. I can see Kyler Murray getting hurt soon as well. And
you've got McBride, you've got Marvin Harrison Jr. there. DeMarcado knows he's a decent player himself, but
I would have to lean towards the Cards, especially with them being at home. But again, I don't rate either of the two teams. In fact, I would say after 4 weeks, I've never felt like so many teams have got absolutely no chance after 4 weeks. This season, there just seems to be so many teams that are just out of it already. But
I
yeah,
think that's wild, though. I honestly think Titans could be one of the worst teams I've seen. They're bad. They're badly coached. They're badly run. They've obviously got a rookie and the quarterback. They're just home for some glimmers this year that things could be better if there was certain changes made and we got more quality. And this should not be an issue for the Cardinals. And if it is, maybe it's time to really, really look at Kyler Murray and his actual commitment to this game and this sport, or he should just chuck it and stick to COD or whatever he plays. Fortnite, Roblox, I don't know.
Tough game. One of the other 9:05 games is the Buccaneers travelling to Seattle Seahawks. That's going to be a really, really hard game. That actually might be one of my favourite games of the weekend to watch. I'll stay up and watch Seahawks hopefully get a win against the Bucs in that one. That'll be a very, very tight, tough game. Lions are going to run over the top of the Bengals, surely. And the 9:25 game, we've got the Commanders taking on the Chargers. Two teams with disappointing losses the previous week. Is this going to be another draw then, Kev?
Nah. I suppose it depends. It depends who the Commanders have back, but I would say that I fancy the Chargers to win that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. I think that long trip out west for Washington, I think Chargers will come back strong. I love what Mario Hampton's starting to do. Oh. I can just see that was a blip. This is going to be I'll say a comfortable one for the Chargers.
The late Sunday night game, early Monday morning for us is, of course, the New England Patriots travelling upstate New York to take on the Buffalo Bills. Do you really hold out much hope for that one, Danny?
Yeah. How convincing did that sound? No, it's one of these ones. I think no. And realistically, if I'd put a gun to my head and tell me right pick who is really going to win this, I see the Patriots, and the Bills have no chance because we're up against Drake May. The dynasty is back after 5 years. It's going to be a tough game. I'd much prefer going upstate New York this time of year than going in late December when it's minus God knows what and it's cold. But if we can stifle Josh Allen and just play a game, and we can, I'm hoping we can make it a lot closer than what the spread is at -7.5 anyway.
Well, you're saying that it's going to be a whiteout up in Buffalo for the game they're going to have the rivalries yearnies on. I seen the helmets were getting all prepared for it. I didn't realise. Right, see, this might just be daft to me. I didn't realise that the helmets get like dressed for every game. I thought they had set helmets with the tape on them that they would just choose from. So if they're going for the blue helmets with the whatever thing, but they get like stripped and then like retaped for every game.
Take a fair beating, right enough, wouldn't they? After a few games, they'd be pretty mangled, I'd imagine. So, and let's face it, these teams are worth almost $10 billion. I'm sure they can afford to clean up a helmet now and again. A bit of tape on it. But I heard that apparently there's going to be white towels as well, and it's going to be a big white loving. Can't wait to see the fans crying into them at the end of the game. Though. It's going to be beautiful.
Are you guys going to be wearing your rivals unis this week, or is that get for another game?
Yeah, we're wearing ours against the Jets. I forget what week it is. Maybe week 8, maybe around about then. So, which I love. I picked up my one for the Patriots Pro Shop at the weekend.
It's very smart, very, very smart. I like the new logo. That blue as well is quite nice. Okay, so New England at Buffalo. We've got the Chiefs travelling to Jacksonville to take on the Jags for Monday Night Football to finish us off there. if Chiefs played like they played last week, that should be a tight win, but a maybe semi-comfortable win for them. Do you think, Kev?
Yeah, I think that could be a really close game. Like you said, the Jags are starting to look decent. If it all comes together for the Jags, then I don't see why they can't win that one, because I'm still not convinced by the Chiefs. They've had a really up and down start to the season. So yeah, I think I'm looking forward to watching that one, actually.
Excellent. And that brings us to we close our look at next week's games. We'll be back next Wednesday, of course, to cover all of the games, and we're going to be keeping it to a regular Wednesday where we can as well for the rest of the season. But there will also be some other podcasts popping up on your feed. Look out for a new Scott Ball podcast that we've got coming. We'll be recording that this Friday with Grant King from the Edinburgh Mavericks. He's going to be hosting that. We're going to have a focus on some of the fantastic work and the teams that are playing amateur game in Scotland. So the Flag, Contact, Uniball, all of those things we're going to be looking at and highlighting all the fantastic Scottish teams that we've got. So if you are part of one of those Scottish teams you'd like to get involved, drop us a line. We'll get you on at some point over the season. So yeah, have a wee look out for that. We'll get some other stuff coming up as well, but we'll get to that as the season continues. Guys, this has been good fun. Anything else that you want to talk about before we bring the podcast to a close?
Kev, I want to know what else happening Sunday night. Don't give me the bullshit that you can't remember after leaving the pub.
Mate, I've already told you I can't remember.
Listen,
I've already told you I have no recollection.
If anybody wants to hear that, we'll need to set up a Patreon on.
Never come.
Yeah. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Kev, thanks very much.
Thanks, Keith. Cheers, mate.
It was great to see you on Sunday. It was, bud. Looking forward to some more nights out watching some quality football with you. Danny, great to see you, bud.
A pleasure as always. Nice talking to you guys.
You're down a couple of weeks as well. We're going to go. I think we'll try and watch one of the London games. So that might be worthwhile heading out for as well. Excellent. Thanks very much for listening. If you get a chance this Sunday at Meggetland in Edinburgh, the Scotland under-19s are playing. They're trying to make sure that they get another fantastic turnout and fill the stand. So if you can, you've got a couple hours free on Sunday, and we'll try and get some of the crew members along to it as well. But yeah, certainly Young Scotland team wearing their new uniforms. Have you seen the new unis that they've got? They're absolutely class. I'm going to try and see if we can snag a wee one for the crew to get as well. Yes, get a chance, get along to Meggetland on Sunday and support Scotland under 19s. And best of luck to them. We'll be cheering you on from the sideline, guys. Okay, brilliant. Thanks very much for listening. We have been Irn-Cru, and we will speak to you again soon.